On like a moment of like acid, I don't even know what I was thinking. I decided to make the opening line of the book, "Hi, my name is Vanessa. I'm a recovering awkward person."
Welcome.
In the early part of my career, I was pitching a different business, and I was meeting with all these different VIPs in the industry. And so I met with this VIP. It was a very big deal coffee for me. I was super anxious. I was like, this has to go well, this has to go well. And it was supposed to be, I think, a 30-minute meeting, and it was like 11 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I had not even like taken a drink of my latte yet. And he was like, well, nice to meet you, bye. And I was like, okay.
Gosh.
Yeah, horrible,
Yeah.
horrible. It went horribly. And I was so embarrassed and I was so devastated. And then I kind of got into my people skills. I started working on people skills. I started writing about people skills. And I had another opportunity to pitch the same VIP. Now, this time he was on a panel. It was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But he was on a panel and it was like a pitch competition. And I was like, oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. This guy knows me.
Yeah.
He's literally heard this pitch before. My pitch did not change all that much. It was almost the exact same slide deck.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in such trouble. Like, he's going to poison the well. He's going to tell all the other panelists that I'm boring and horrible and my business sucks, right?
Yeah.
And so I get on stage. I do my thing. I'm like, just like pitch to the other people, hope they can convince him. And at the end of this pitch competition, he comes up to me. He was like, well, it's such a pleasure to meet you. That was a wonderful pitch.
Yeah.
And I was like, we've met before.
Did you say that?
Yeah. And he was like, we did? I was like, yeah, like not that long ago at so-and-so coffee shop. He was like, I mean, his face was as if I was a different person.
Yeah.
And that was the moment where I realized it's almost as if I'm a different person. The nice part about it was I didn't feel like I was being inauthentic on stage.
Yeah.
Actually, I felt less fake it till you make it on that stage than I did at that coffee meeting before.
Yeah.
And I realized that's something important. When you feel like you can be memorable and captivating and charismatic and still you are being you.
Yep.
Like, that is the goal.
Big time. And that's the one point that I wish every listener or anyone that comes across this topic could understand, because I think that, like, when you read, how to win friends and influence people, and you read, I think a lot of people judge it instantly.
Oh, yeah.
With like, oh, so you want to just teach me how to manipulate people?
Yes.
Well, that's not real. That's okay. So now I'm going to be a manipulator.
Yeah.
And it's not that at all. And I think that when you just put it perfectly, is when you're doing that and actually feeling more authentic.
Yeah.
It's just so important.
Well, so there's I think that like by the way, I face this challenge weekally in my business and my personal life, right? Like, this is not a challenge that you're done with.
Yeah.
Right? This happens every time you interact with a new person. Every time you're on a podcast, you have the choice to either show up and say, I'm going to try to be impressive.
Yeah.
Killer of charisma, by the way. Or I'm going to show up and try to be me. And I have that choice on every podcast. Some podcasts I don't do well.
Yeah.
I try too hard. I'm too nervous. I'm too awkward, whatever.
Yeah.
And this happened really distinctly where I submitted the first round of my book to Penguin Random House. And in the very first chapter, I was trying to be impressive. And that is because I feel like why would anyone learn people skills from me? I'm a recovering awkward person.
Yeah.
Like, I had total phrase we hear all the time, total imposter syndrome.
Yep.
Where I was like, why would anyone read this book? Why learn from me? Why am I even writing this book? And so I submitted it to my editor, Nikki Papadopoulos, amazing at Penguin Random House. And she was like, Vanessa, this intro doesn't sound like you.
Wow.
And it's true, because I trotted out like all these statistics about people skills. And I was like, science, research. 'Cause that's my comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't. It was totally dry and very scientific, and I was trying way too hard to sound important or like I knew the research.
Yep.
And she was like, what is the thing you are most afraid of people finding out? And I was like, that I am awkward.
Yeah.
And by the way, the book came out before I had embraced my awkward badge. Okay, that was not anywhere.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm afraid of people thinking I'm awkward. Like, how can an awkward person teach people skills? I'm like, I think every person who ever has interviewed me and it went horribly are going to pick up this book and be like, what? How could she be writing a book about this?
Yeah.
She's like, that's exactly what you should write about in the introduction.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And so on like a moment of like acid, I don't even know what I was thinking. I decided to make the opening line of the book, hi, my name is Vanessa. I'm a recovering awkward person.
Yeah.
And I think that is why the book hit the bestseller list.
Yeah.
Like, I am sure of it. And that's how I opened my TED Talk. And it's changed my game.
Guys, if you like that and you want to see more like it, as well as vlogs, other web series, and all the random stuff that I'm doing here on YouTube, don't forget to click that subscribe button. You won't regret it, I promise.